Welcome along to a huge day where Hutch have made some upcoming changes to the Aston Martin event. Starting with this event right here, we're going to see a trial of some new GP rewards format. So this is going to be potentially very exciting. We're going to dive into it and take a look to see, is it really as good as it sounds, or is it maybe leaving room for improvement, or maybe it's a step in the wrong direction. Let me know down in the comments right now what you think of these upcoming reward changes. So it is a trial, and I mean, I would have loved to see minimum assets, but I can't see anything of confirmation so far. But if you haven't seen it, this is the change that is coming. So we've been working hard to improve Grand Prix events, and we're reducing the steep reward gap between top and middle ranking players in final round. So the majority of positions in a final round will receive an increase in rewards, while the few top positions will see a reduction. So with more evenly distributed rewards, this should make the events more enjoyable and rewarding for a larger set of players. Top positions will still receive the highest rewards, but players in lower positions will not miss out as much with this structure. So, it says, don't worry, the competitive reward structure you know and love will still be present in other events, so players still need to maintain their competitive edge. So the Aston Martin event is going to be the first time that we'll see this trial take place. And what we've managed to do is, thanks to the TR The Flash resource sheet, we're going to see how vastly different these rewards are. We're going to head over to our screen that we've amended quite nicely, and we're going to have a look. So right here on the right hand side, as you can see over here, these were the Champion GP rewards pre-Aston Martin GP. Now, we're going to go and take a look in the F1 Clash game right now and take a look at the rewards, and we're going to go and see how different they are. We're not going to go through everything. We will have a look at some of the other divisions as well. But let's see how much of a change this is, and do we think this is good? Now, I am a player who can't actually finish in the top 10 in Champions, so hopefully this is worth it for me. But let's find out. So, let's head off into rewards for Champion. Okay then, starting with number 1. So straight away, we can see 280 epics pre-Aston Martin GP, only 100 epics now for P1 going forward. So a reduction of 180 epics. Yes, you get your weekly division bonus still, but on this, without the bonus, 180 epics less for P number 1. Your rares are the same, your boosts are the same, your coins are the same, and your reputation is the same. Let's look at number 2. 70 epics, so half the epics for finishing P2, where it was 140 before. You're going to get less rares. You're only going to now get 265 rares. Boosts, coins, rep points stay the same. So a big reduction for the top players finishing in those top positions. That is a huge drop off. So P3, we'll go through the top 5. P3 did get 84 epics in Champion, now only gets 57 it is, yeah, 57. And we've got 217 rares compared to the 341 before. Boost are the same, everything else is the same. There's a big drop off on epics. So you can see before, epics, yeah, P4 got 56, now P4 gets 50. So that gap has started to close. Look at that drop off here though, P11. So P11 is probably going to see we've still seen big changes, don't get me wrong, but P11 did get 28 epics previously. Now P11, as we scroll through, is going to get 30, but that drop off before from 41 to 28, I don't know. I mean, if you are finishing in the top 10, you are not getting a big reward anymore. I mean, yeah, 41 epics for P10, that's a reduction of 10. Roughly around 10 on some of these that have been reduction by. And it is closing the gap. It is. Let's go down to P25. They got 15 epics before. they now get 20 epics. So a little bit more depth in the reward system. Really, I mean, the commons, epics, and rares are changing, of course, because you can see P25 now get 75 rares, as before it only got 57. So, yeah, it's not too bad, but hold on, 114 boosts, so everything else is the same. So, what do you think of these champion ones so far? There's a huge reduction of epics from the top ones. They have balanced it out, but for me, if you finish in the top 10, you're getting a lot less rewards. I'm not sure I'm a massive fan of that. I get that the top players get further ahead because they obviously keep picking up the big rewards. I would still like to see them minimum assets introduced into the GP events instead of getting Series 1 parts and drivers that we can get. So they have reduced the top 10. They have made it more numbers of epics for your other car, sorts of finishing where you are. Obviously, we mentioned P25 now gets 20 epics compared to 15 before. So if you are a mid-table finisher, outside of the top 20 finisher, you're going to benefit from these rewards. Let's go and take a quick look at Contender to see if anything has changed in Contender. So let's scroll over. Okay. Wow. Wow. No way has this changed dramatically. So you used to get 140 epics for P1 in Contender. You now only get 40. Wow. That is a huge drop-off for P1 Contender players. Man, that is a massive drop. You've got 70 for P2. They now only get 28. These are some huge drops. 42 down to 23. That is some huge numbers. So the big difference then of where it starts to benefit the lower players by the look of it is before P10 to P11, 21 down to 14. So P11 now gets 12. So, I mean, that's still lower. I mean, the rares are heavily reduced as well. We know that. This is still a big drop. P16 had 11 before. It's now only getting 10. Down to Contender P30. Let's see if there's anything benefits. 4 epics. You now get 7. So again, if you're finishing in that mid-pack, you're getting an extra few epics, it seems. So again, Contender's been changed. Again, epics rares have changed. But it's benefiting them mid-tier players. That's what it's doing. If you're finishing top 20, 25 to top, probably down to, what's the lowest that you can get now in Contender? You can get 4 for P100. You only got 2 luck before. So look at that. 4 only came in from position 34 before. So that is the only time it came in before. Now, if you finish last, you get the equivalent of the epics of what was P34. Challenger. Let's go and have a look at this one to see what this one looks like as we scroll over to Challenger. So we got 70 epics in Challenger beforehand, as you can see right here. You're now only going to get 20 for P1. 35 epics for P2. There's a heavy reduction. I'm not too sure on this. I think there's too big of a reduction. That is chaos. P10. And again, epics start to get lower. P30 was only 2 epics in Challenger beforehand. P30 is now 4 epics. So, yeah, it's not... It's very interesting news. I mean, I'm not going to potentially go through Junior here. I mean, I have sort of crashed. Let me just try and bring it back to get Junior in. We might as well finish off Junior. It is clear that there is a big change in some of these stats. Big change. As we'll just try and reconnect it up, because it likes to fail on me sometimes, this does. Obviously, you can see my offline is... internet is playing up a little bit. So, yeah, Junior... Let's go and scroll over to Junior. And then what we'll do is we'll try and connect it back. So, Junior GP. Beforehand. You got pretty much 25 epics for that one. You got 13 epics for P2. 8 epics for P3. So, there are some lower scores. I'm just going to try and connect one more time, see if I can get in. If not, let's go and try and tell you anyway. So, Junior, you only get 4. Here we go. 5 epics for P1 in Junior compared to 25 before, 13 epics compared to 4 now, and 8 compared to 3 for the top 3. Again, that's a big drop-off for the big... I mean, you kind of have to ask yourself, getting P1 is no longer a massive benefit. You might as well finish P25. You don't get that much less epics. It is kind of a big shake-up. Now, you will see this Grand Prix event changes in your inbox, so go and take a look at that. With that changes in mind, please do let me know down below in the comments. I would have liked to see less of a reduction on the rewards. I think they've reduced the rewards down too much for them players. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to be rewarded for getting a top result. Now, I do think before, 400 and some epics with the bonus of the league was too much, but it's still quite low now. And I think the middle bracket is fine, but I just think that little bit higher for the top players still needs to be worthwhile. You need to feel great when you get that top result. You need to also feel like you get the reward that you deserve. Introduce Hutch minimum rewards. Champions, minimum of a Series 9 reward. Contender, minimum of a Series 6. Challenger, minimum of a Series 3 reward. Junior, minimum of a, well, yeah, anything from Series 3 downwards. That is what I feel you should be able to get rewards. I think that would be the best change that Hutch could make. I don't know yet if if you finish middle of the pack, great, this is going to benefit you. If you're finishing at the top all the time, your progress is about to slow. Although it could be argued if you're finishing near the top, chances are you're almost max level anyway.